Hello, and this is my video on the Samsung Gear 2. I've had it for about a couple of days now. It's really just a glorified watch, and if you have the money for $2.99 and tax or whatever, get a hold of it. It's not an unboxing video. I've already had it out. I've been using it, and it's okay for the most part, but to get a glimpse of it, we'll show you what it is. So here it is. This is the actual physical watch. Nothing real special. It does have a rating of IP67, which the 67 is the rating on dust and water resistancy. 6 is the highest you can get on dust rating. 8 is the highest on waterproof, so it's okay. It does have a 7 rating, which is pretty good. You can put it underwater. I have put it underwater. I've washed my hands. I've had it out in the rain, and it still works pretty well. So let's get familiar with it. You have your watch bands, which are here, obviously, and your wonderful little clasp, which does have the Samsung branding on it. And then here is your home button, which is also your power on and off. Up here you have your camera and your IR blaster. And you're also, which is wonderful because the original Galaxy Gear didn't have, was the removable bands. So you can change them out. You can get different bands for them. I plan on getting a different one eventually because my wrists are a little bit larger. And I like to have it fit just a little loosely. Okay, let's go ahead and power it on. Press and hold. While it's powering on, let's take a look at the specs on this thing. So it's pretty good for what a watch is. I mean, you get your 2 megapixel camera and your gyroscope, accelerometer, heart rate. You get your Bluetooth 4.0. Same size screen. It is IP67 certified, which is dust and water resistant. And it's powered by Tizen, or Tizen. It's not powered by Android anymore. So hence the reason why it's a Samsung Gear 2, not the Galaxy Gear 2. And then on the box you got some of your UPCs and your numbers and stuff like that. Nothing real special. Yeah, same thing that Samsung does, or recycling gear, whatever. Okay, now the watch is on. Good focus. Okay, we have our apps and the watch faces. We'll slide through some of these. Most of the apps that what you see here are exactly what you'll find in the App Store or in the actual apps. I just haven't really gone and switched them around yet. One thing I did do was change the background on my watch, which is really great. I've been able to get at least 2.5 days out of it. That's out of regular use. I don't use a Bluetooth device other than my watch itself. I've used the camera, and they take pretty good pictures for a camera on a watch, I should say. The video's alright. You just have to go into the settings and change the settings around to have it do the 720p video recording. It does okay. The pictures are actually pretty good. I do have some on my Galaxy Note 3. I do have some here on my Galaxy Note 3. I don't know how well you can see them or the resolution on them. But they're not too bad. I mean, you can zoom in pretty good. It's actually the first day I had them. This is my desktop, so it's not too bad, so you can zoom in pretty good. Some specs on it. The woods behind my house. I do have a video. It's a little dark. And I can put up a video up here on my YouTube here eventually to actually show you the video quality of it on its own. So with my experience with the watch, it's been okay. Pretty much, I've already gotten used to having it. I do have a bunch of people that do ask about it, like, oh, can you call Kit the car, or can you beam Scotty up, or whatever, all them silly jokes about, you know, having a smartwatch and all the phone call features. And the one thing I do have an issue with is when I'm actually having a full conversation on a text, it does become sort of cumbersome because it starts to wear down the battery. And then, you know, on a very light use, yeah, you can get like 2 to 5 days iffy. Like 2 to 4 days at most, maybe. I don't know, I've never really tried because I've always had it connected to my phone. But receiving messages, email, and my missed calls on here, it's pretty cool. You know, I can tell people, oh yeah, I can receive, I can make phone calls. But other than that, it's pretty alright. I've tried the watch on remote. It's kind of weird, you know, using my watch as a remote other than my phone or my actual remote itself. It's just kind of weird. Taking pictures, I haven't really tried it. Other than the ones that I have, it just seems, again, another weird thing to get used to, taking pictures on my watch. Yeah, it's probably the first thing I'd grab at if I need a camera, but it's okay. I have tried the sleep mode on this, and apparently on the 11th, the least amount of time I spent motionless was 2 hours and 35 minutes. That seems a little crazy. But let's go on to history. And I don't know, I can't really figure out how to come up with my history. But the last night before that, I was motionless for 6.5 hours, which was pretty good. That's pretty good for sleep. Yeah, I've done a lot with it, not much. I do use the S Voice, it's pretty cool. I do use it in my car when I'm driving. And yes, I have to turn down the volume of everything, roll up the windows, so it gets really hot in my car when I'm on the phone because I can't hear on it because it's the speaker is actually kind of on the side along with the microphone. The call quality is kind of great. My friends and family say, you know, you can't tell that you're talking on the watch. It's pretty cool that you're even calling me on the watch. The only downside that I don't like about this is that it being attached to my phone, it actually drains the battery quite a bit because it is hooked up via Bluetooth, and getting a lot of messages or making a phone call will actually drain your phone's battery much quicker. Now I do have the Note 3 and I haven't gotten the KitKat update, so I still consume a lot of battery. I'm sure if I cut down a lot of the applications on my phone or don't use it very often during the day, I could save battery, but it's pretty consuming as of battery life on the phone because it is using Bluetooth and it's on all the time. I haven't really tried out the exercise of the pedometer or the heart rate. Well, actually I lied. I tried out the heart rate and I get 2 different readings on the top of my wrist and on the bottom of my wrist. So I pretty much took the 2 and got an average out of it. So it works okay. I would like it to be a little more accurate. The music player I haven't quite figured out yet. For some reason it only plays the music that's attached to this, which I only have Over the Horizon, which is the stock one that's on here. Let's see if we can turn up the volume. It's not too loud, but it's okay. And then you got the music player up here on the right, which you just tap. You get back into it. And then you can press the home screen to go back. And it still does have that one motion where if you slide it down and slide it down again, it brings you right back to the time. So my overall in a rating from 1 to 10 would probably be about a high 6. Because it is the second attempt at it. It is a pretty good attempt, and I can't really give it a 10. I mean, on the cool factor, yeah, it's a 10. I mean, it's a smartwatch, you know. But on the usability, the battery usage, the time I get out of it on a medium to light usage is about 2.5 days. I would like to get a little bit more battery out of it. You know, maybe a little bigger, wider maybe. You know, maybe something about, you know, here-ish. You know, maybe you can put a little more battery into it, make it a little more louder. Just because, you know, charging it is a pain in the butt. But to size it, I got really big hands. You know, so it's alright. It's a pretty good size. Let's see, anything. Use my lighter. Everyone's seen a lighter. So it's pretty good size. You know, it's a watch, you know, so you can't really get size too well. When I open the box, you know, you see all these YouTube things and oh, it looks so great, so big, but when you open the box, it's just actually pretty small from how you see it normally. So when you sit it in the box, we'll just clasp it back together here. I'll put it in the box for you. You know, so that's it in a box. You know, you got this box. This, you know, it holds quite a bit. You do have your charger and everything else inside there. So it's pretty cool in the cool factor. Usability is alright. I haven't used it in public. I just feel kind of weird using my watch texting in public. Maybe if I had a little keyboard or something, or didn't have to talk to it in public, it'd be okay. I just feel a little weird. I'm sure people will do it. I have seen people do it. It just looks kind of funny. But that's my review on the Samsung Gear 2. It's okay. I give it a smooth 6, a high 6, because it's not really there yet. I think give it a little more time in wearable technology, and eventually we'll get a great watch that can guarantee at least a 7-day battery, so we don't have to charge everything either every night or every other night. So thanks for watching, and have a good night.